12 years ago, my mum was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, which was obviously devastating to the family. And I knew how far it would go, and I knew what we had facing us really. And as anyone with Alzheimer's or dementia is aware, you have these little pockets of who the person was for many a year. But little things started to happen. She'd had a heart attack about 2 years previously to her diagnosis, so obviously had to take medication. Medication became quite an issue for us, and then my dad suffered a stroke and he was no longer fit enough really to support Mum in her medication taking and all the rest, and I used to go, and there'd be many a battle going on between the two of them about her tablets. And it was then that Telecare came into our lives really. And at that stage it was in its infancy really, and we had an assessor come to the house and mentioned this pill dispenser, and this flying saucer arrived, and it was the best thing ever. I didn't have to worry about Mum taking tablets, I didn't have to worry about the battle, because when Mum's tablets were due, the alarm would go and the door would open and there would be her tablets, and that was it. So it was a small piece of equipment that meant Mum and the tablet situation didn't get out of hand. Because if anybody who's lived with Alzheimer's knows that the smallest of things can rock their world really, and in rocking their world it rocks everybody else's. But because it wasn't a human, it wasn't my dad telling her, you've got to take your tablets, Jean. It was this thing that would help her. She did it, and no arguments ever about taking tablets anymore. As the disease progressed, Mum became less and less able to recognise when she was actually placing herself in danger. And on a few occasions she went out the door and nobody knew that she'd gone, because although she'd got Alzheimer's, she was swift. So once again I came back to Telecare and said, help. And without question they came out and fitted alarms which alerted my dad she was going out the house. And it was heaven sent. It kept my mum safe, gave my dad peace of mind, and it gave me peace of mind. We kept my mum at home for 2 years longer than what I think we would have ever have done before. I'm forever grateful for the fact that we had those 2 years. For me, they were very precious years that I had Mum. The Telecare kept my mum at her address, her home, sleeping in her bed, sitting on her settee and making her own cup of tea. Even though she couldn't remember whether I had sugar or not, it didn't matter. She still made a cup of tea. And forever grateful to Telecare for the 2 years that we had. As an assessor, we see people on the wards, and uppermost in our mind is talking to them about Telecare and obviously all the other pieces of equipment that can be provided. We make a referral through to the Telecare service and they go and do their assessment. What we talk to them about is these bits of equipment that are required. For us, we talk mainly about the pendant alarm and the key safe that is fitted at the same time that the pendant alarm goes in. The key safe is essential because it means that people don't have their properties damaged. If they've had a fall and they press their alarm, it goes through to a 24-hour service where they can always get some assistance. I've been on the other side. I know the reassurance is probably the most important part, because you can go about your day to day knowing that if there is a problem, they can get some help. It's freedom for the carer as well, because they know that Mum or Dad is safe, and that if they've got their pendant round their neck, they can always get assistance, and they're always alerted to it as well. There's also an option of a falls detector, so if someone should unfortunately have a fall in the home, it does detect that they've fallen and automatically alerts the Telecare service. And so it is about getting the help sooner rather than later, and the sooner that we can get to people who've suffered these falls, the better it is that we get them better quicker. So the sooner that Telecare are alerted, and with falls detectors, with the pendant alarm, with the key safe, it can only add to the fact the person gets the help sooner rather than later.
I think it's important to explain a bit more about how the effect of Telecare has had on me. Because although it's wonderful for John because he's having the immediate care which he needs, for me it's been a great help also, because I'm not so confined, I'm not worried to death, don't know what to do, ringing paramedics up all the time, and that worries you as well, because you feel as though you're using them every 5 minutes. So Telecare has been a boon in our life, because for me it's been a sense of freedom. I feel better in myself, and I am able to go to the shops or pop down the road and whatever. And although it's limited, because I still have John to look after, it's been a great, great, marvellous thing what's come into my life. And things could be better, but without Telecare, I think that's 3/4 of the way to being more ourselves, actually, because it created a lot of havoc and misery, really, because there was no one there on hand to press a button and able to come out to you, and they take charge of John, and I can stand back and let them do the job for me.
When I have the falls, I always think I'm not going to ever get up again, because they knock you about. I've never been unconscious, but I am semi-unconscious, and it worries me. I mean, the worst fall I had when I fell through the glass in the greenhouse, and I had all my arteries all cut down there, but they got over it, and that's what I always think about these people who come to help me. Had they been around then, that's what I value their help for, because now I haven't got that fear. It's given me a peace of mind. That's the greatest thing I could say, because I know that I've always got that to press, and I know when I press that, they're here. And they help you, that's the main thing. And they're so nice talking to you, and they do all this, and I appreciate what they do. And they never grumble or anything, they just give you a feeling that you're being under control with somebody. I mean, it's a terrible situation when you can't control yourself from falling, but it's a better situation that if you fall, you know you've got somebody who will come and do something about it.
I wonder sometimes how I've got on. In a way, it's just unthinkable, really. And I feel now that John can be looked after, and I can get out and have a bit of freedom, which is important to everyone, I should imagine. It's everyone's choice, but let me tell you, it's the best choice you could ever make.